Your clothing palace and a way wash matade kama kamanti ope manta de pefie ato manta dia now do any actually Accra Central womo any lavabo sign ni din hwe ni mompacho woko ho no mo ba ho ade bia won sabekabi no ho fe no awiemu dia fe yentinsi ensam no emu Omampanyi John Dramani Mahama asefem sam ni asam yawo a any brechia abo adehie wo Ayawaso East Ghana man any NDC se amanyokuo no ade a yewrai ebo anan ekọ abusua na so akọcheche won mo hwe se emrahye bedwani se de da ye ka no yesi nyame enna odemma na bre se ne bra wo pemu no ena erade wogie osene nkonhwe ni mu se enne ne kire ya ye bete se wato na nanom wonse do nanso so da kena ose abasa nti abusua yire emma enua amanyokuo ene oman Ghana yenyina yenhye ye ho edin Osuafo a wono na ehwe nkwase amamuo ena afi ahensam ene soma hodo eho nsam so onmunyamfo Ahmed Ibrahim ede atudwa se wose eye adehye a wono mo wosunwan se wonsiesie sunwan ema eho enyefe
se aban ka se yenye national sanitation day wanya aban te Accra o aban ote ya no eyewo and the one na haye fi na yare bitisi mu a una ebeka on face and it's about the politics na policy na ba say yen di ehunia you must take it frontal into immigration for fire for police for there obi aye no eye ni so you to no so send them to mu go abonten no eno so efe na nkasa so gina me so no so beka kakra na every month be it me ni say ya sunya be back to it cleanliness na ya hwese ndua na ye nanano edikanfo no dua ya ye twetwa ye no de na yeso ye dua Sunyan station ya na ndua ye wo ha e be 12 every lane bia 3 times 4 3 4 12 and this year ya twetwa ne nyina ye ne pavement dua bia ni ho uko ndua mu ho a ye kasa ndua mu a Victoria Park ndua nkwa na egu ho ya twetwa ne nyina ba kokora ni ho enti ewia no ba the beauty of the city is gone
ibeje akonya me fa krom say neda ene manya da aja fa kruba bia na hwehwe se je finya siasa ti a eba na ochina after se mene MC ni MP no ye behia no ye de communicate be ba bonten me carry a chiro mo matwa ye hu ahia ni obi oti me voice bia se mo a woni beka se mo later around ene atwa se ye chewa emra ni ubedi unnam derma bo so bi mutim fa trash baller na o de hye na ade ase eya ade a ye betutu sa
ye makwan mo bia mfa posters ne ye bia mo na one thing I say met parliament ya me hu ni say amoka se Sunyani is the cleanest city in Ghana eya amoka na me eya me depa but of late as a glory no eya go down past us nti e best obia mfa no hunjimbi ye ma menum dwadifo one thing I'm encouraging is say ya ton ade stores ne yi obi beto nsu a say ba kum yenu a man fa she politin bag no for no let's be responsible obije politin bag ensu ba ko pe o use only for not to rubber naturally why should you do that
obia adwene say assembly and as zoom lion kwa na ye na sudie so hwe no prapra na mani age say ye na naso wa ha na ode na no atomo bi migidi pa ye say MP gina yechi na assembly no wo ho na nanom so gina yechi a ye betimi aboa enforce ne ye pa enti ye bylaws me said the last edition of ye clean up mekan ye no say if we mre koi 2026 years media ye be enforce ye bylaws ne pa
We are busia for e bobo anan akopiemu e wo police headquarters otukoko so na esetu ababi Asantehene nana etia ne hinemamu abepiemu e wo nkran ha ya wakosra ne nananom aposifo e wo nkran ha se ya enei wonom di no etu apa aposifo nyina to sante na dwumadie no efe pa yenko na yenkobo yeni akonhoma
Police headquarters. The guard commander is Assistant Superintendent of Police, Kafui Ajiman. She is ably supported by Assistant Superintendent of Police, Joyce Ofori, our guard Sergeant Major is in the person of PW Sergeant Juliana Akowa. And also to support the guard is the police band conducted by Deputy Superintendent of Police Felix Ofe Osei Mabua. The bandmaster is Chief Inspector Godson Prime. And the drum major is Chief Inspector Daniel Ada. His Royal Majesty has just finished with the inspection of the guard and now walking towards the days.
Thank you.
Your Royal Majesty, inspection over. May I please have your permission to march off the guard? Yes, Your Royal Majesty.
The guard commander, Assistant Superintendent of Police Kafui Ajima, has sought permission from His Royal Majesty to march off the guard, and same has been granted. Shall we please be upstanding to take the royal salute? Please kindly take your seat. Thank you.
4, 3 rounds. God will march up in column of in columns of fruits. Right turn.
Ghana High Commissioner Ujina Yanemu ewe United Kingdom Onimonyamfo Zita Benson edi atudwa se Ghana de share dodo no a bese 241 and a Ghana card omo enye bi afi 2025.
So far we have about 241 applications, successful applications on the Ghana card, people who have received their Ghana card. We also resumed our mobile passport services. We did Manchester and we did Dublin. The first quarter we'll be doing Birmingham. So we are looking forward to greater things in 2026. We are deepened bilateral relations with the UK. We also deepened relations with the diaspora here in the UK through various means, through church visitations, through market outreach, through our own programs that we organized, for instance, like the first ever Christmas carols that we organized at the Church of Pentecost. We want to get closer to the people in the diaspora. So as a mission, you'll be seeing us in your communities, you'll be seeing us working with you. We are looking at, for the first quarter of 2026, having some business forums, business summits. We encourage you to look forward to our business summits that we'll be organizing soon. Details will be out soon. So if you're interested, encourage all Ghanaians to register on our website. We want to have a proper database of Ghanaians living in the UK and in Ireland, so that we will be able to know who is who and who is where, just in case of an emergency. So please go online and do register on our website as a Ghanaian. I wish you all a very happy new year, blessed new year. May 2026 be better for all of us.
Okay, program here. No culture, colorful, Ghana national buyer. No, we are deeply into the Ghanaian community and we care about the Ghanaian community. It's everywhere I've been Ghana for. Oh my God, no. The person support you. It's sorry, be an answer. Oh yeah, 1 or 2 programs that have been Ghana for Nigeria for Africa for. You're supporting community, and that's how we want to do. It's different.
They say already now over 1,000 customers, you know. They are enrolled more. Use taps and virtual card, and very soon, they will post a physical card. I'll be almost sort code account number. I'll bet Midday, Sika, Atoso. I'll bet them making transaction all over the world. And they are here in Amao.
But they can't be Shana Hodia, and the pay won't be no, any Sadia, a fan adoyesem, a fan or say young conk or formwa, a fan say, who send Sika crack on a home kita who be any home was the Biabania Maya. Mrama oni nyina no ewo ho ti de o meka ho de na bia wo hre ne ma pii
Ohina wo ampensie na kwadwo mensa e de ato abanyanim se wo sere no ada wo ma naimos fo no emepie mu ne national security emepie mu e wo ampensie se de be ya galamse kun no wo mba beboa wonom e wo ho
PRP no omo bai don prospecting lands the trade na ya ko ma ni on so mo ni pie am di adwuma no iti ya so mo family be sin ne be ya busu mi sin asa du omo an family adwuma na on busu ya ko omo se paper no omo ka mo omo de beba e be sin ne omo an family se nka yi pie omu a mo yi pie paper bi da ho obo ni ko ma ne tena se aha ya musiye mo nkwa ha we ye se ya nye se we ye se ya nye se ne wa tena se do mo bom no bi an tena se oba am di paper am be so aban de amano it aya ni adi mineral commission for ho ya because in mineral commission mo di asase mo obi e se mutu na mon mo di nipa kwa mo di asase ma ne ba kuro ni so na na band ha ma so ma si so ma ya adwuma oti ye na mu hia e di ayi hia we hia we ha mutwa ha no bon oti PRP bo mba ye no omo paper no di kase aband amom ye so nko form item e be si ya hu tete bia abusu yo mo adwuma so cooperative mining no President Mahama baye you are the Jano no. Say galamse paper bia de wagu. Or hwehwem nemum ekwan befa so I won't say forest, won't say isuo de obama ya in cooperative mining. Nti anu bom na ye sra ban say sa cooperative mining no. Okay asase kakra aka no. Omo a me yansi san kan bi yansi en fan hwe yekuro na so ye hwa China foi ana omo bubu anko be ho na omo sei no te se okọ se ato China fo nko a no bubuo na be den se okọ abakọ nko akọ ya dwuma akọ na ansa na be ma akọ anko ji se budo ji so o charge o diska udi agọ kwa so de be si yansi en pese de osi adekezo no di be sen si ha company ya papa ya okofa ankofo bi bai ama krobi e wa ha ye frɛ ho adekezo a ye wo the same municipality in the east ha pinche bi ko so ho ama tututu obai
we are busuan for your sign at the mo call police headquarters na yakohwe open so any aposifo nhia mudi a ekoso ewo ho no
at the Ministry of Interior Mrs. Doreen Anan, Director of Operations at the Presidency, COP Mr. Kofi Boachi retired, the Technical Advisor to the Minister of Interior, Mrs. Mamiya Adodankwa, members of the Police Management Board, Nananom, Nime, Name, senior officers and men, the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with profound honor, humility, and great national pride that we welcome His Majesty, the Asantehene, and his entourage to the Ghana Police Headquarters today. Words alone cannot fully express the joy and privilege we feel in witnessing and hosting the great Asante Kingdom on this historic visit. This gesture is not only symbolic, it is unprecedented, a moment that will be engraved permanently in the institutional memory of the Ghana Police Service and indeed in the annals of our nation's security architecture. Your Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, today's gathering invites us to revisit history. Long before the advent of modern European-style policing, African societies, particularly the Asante Kingdom, had well-established systems of law, order, and justice. The Ahifie policing system, administered through the Ashanti courts, was one of the earliest forms of organized policing in this land. These traditional mechanisms ensure social order, dispute resolution, and community safety through customs deeply understood and respected by the people. With the introduction of colonial policing, these indigenous systems were not erased, but rather blended into emerging state structures. The fusion of traditional authority with modern policing concepts helped shape the policing we know in Ghana today. Your Majesty, Nime, Name, ladies and gentlemen, as the revered occupant of the Golden Stool, you have not only preserved these values, but also modernized and strengthened them. Your consistent support for the Ghana Police Service, especially in the Ashanti region, has been both fatherly and exemplary. I recall that you have hosted several Inspectors General of Police and police leadership over the years, offering counsel, guidance, and encouragement, with doors always open to us. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Chief Constable of this country, I must commend Your Majesty and highlight your role in peace building and conflict resolution, which has had a profound impact on national security. Mentioning your exceptional mediation skills, which have restored peace in numerous conflicts across our nation, compels me to describe you as the King Solomon of our time. Your wisdom, patience, and moral authority have brought calm where tension once prevailed, and unity where division once threatened our peace. Specifically, you chair the Committee of Eminent Chiefs that successfully resolved the long-standing Dagbon chieftaincy crisis, restoring peace and stability to the area. Your mediation efforts in Yendi, and more recently in the protracted Boku conflict, to mention a few, have yielded practical recommendations that continue to guide security operations. Today, the relative calm in Boku has significantly enhanced policing efforts and community confidence. It is worth noting that chiefs, as custodians of land, culture, and customs, remain indispensable partners in maintaining law and order. In this regard, Your Majesty, you have personally intervened in numerous land and chieftaincy disputes in the Ashanti region, restoring sanity, reducing violence, and making policing more effective. These actions reaffirm the constitutional recognition of chieftaincy under the 1992 Constitution, which recognizes traditional authority as an integral part of Ghana's governance system. In the context of illegal mining, your directive urging chiefs to take firm action against it in their jurisdictions demonstrate the continued relevance of traditional leadership in addressing modern security challenges, and this is emulating. Your Royal Majesty, beyond peace and security, your contribution to national development is monumental. Through your humanitarian support to the helpless through the Otufo Education Fund, thousands of vulnerable but brilliant students across Ghana have received opportunities to pursue education. As Chancellor of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Your Majesty continues to bridge tradition and academia, ensuring that cultural heritage coexists with innovation and research. In the area of culture, diaspora relations, and global influences, you are a global symbol of African culture. Through cultural preservation, initiatives such as the Menchia Palace Museum and your engagement with the African diaspora, you have projected Ashanti and the Ghanaian culture far beyond our borders. These efforts have strengthened diasporan relations, enhanced Ghana's international profile, promoted tourism, and positioned our tradition as subjects of global academic and cultural study. Your Majesty, your presence at the police headquarters today marks a turning point. This historic honor is one that the Ghana Police Service and our fellow citizens hold in the highest esteem and do not take it lightly. The Ghana Police Service recognizes that over time, we have relied excessively on imported European policing systems. This visit challenges us to return to history, re-embrace indigenous knowledge systems, and strengthen community and tradition-based policing. Let me say that your visit today will deepen cooperation between the Ghana Police Service and the traditional authorities across the country, not only within the Ashanti Kingdom, but nationwide. Your address today will serve as a blueprint and working document for strengthening relations between law enforcement and traditional governance. Moving forward, the police service will study and integrate traditional culture, customs, and local governance systems into our training, orientation, and reorientation programs. This will help the average police officer better understand the socio-cultural dynamics of the communities we serve and police more effectively with empathy, respect, and legitimacy. Your Majesty, your visit is a great honor to every man and woman in the Ghana Police Service. It will leave a lasting legacy, not only in brick and mortar, but in mindset, policy, and practice. We reaffirm our commitment to upholding state laws while respecting customary laws, and to build a security system that reflects the history, culture, and aspirations of Ghanaian people. May this historic visit mark the beginning of a deeper, enduring partnership between the Ghana Police Service and the Transitional Authority for Peace, Development, and National Unity. Once again, we thank you, Your Majesty, for this royal visit and the honor done us. God bless the Ashanti Kingdom. God bless our traditional authorities. God bless the Ghana Police Service. And God bless our beloved country, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohunu, for the welcome remarks. We will now invite the police band to give us a musical interlude. Thank you.
Achim etreso ehene nana ede ato edwa se wose nana no machankonwa se wo mumfa wo munsa asem mase de beya ye pasase ye mpuntudwuma ebetumi anya bi aye ewapueye mantam ho na aboa ama omani mpuntu nso agina nana so
mpuntu obebakumo a dan ya ye nsase chezi ya hospital ya sase ye pesukua eya sase ena kuro nu ba ban so eya sase sabe atwero so ya nyatamfo ena ke mu aye den ake mes atwero so mai sese e pampuntu odia ese ni e beka ye hu se eya den ya ye nyane totroto me kon na me ko nyani pa ne ba no di sika e beboa ama o manwa ka wa he media de say asase na be de boa na so bi so obesi school hospital na o de o man si ni asase ya na o ni di ya na twira so betra ba bi e de yeti e di mesra o man se ye disade si ya pampunto ni obakuya ni mu dia o man ni na entmase se busuya baako enipa baako asem befia ye trase etuoto adwen edi yuti etuyi
na somo ani se ekunafo misia oni bie ya ewo ne mamu sa Moi, est-ce que vous soulignez là? On est busia, misia, yanka.
Fie bia me nana ne bedi me buronya. Entoma, emo anwane mo de aba me nyina wo de mame, no de me sika ka ho. Enna me nana wawu. Nkoso anya na adoya wo ye wonye onyame nhira no.
Wi abusia ye sanbo akoyechi na yakotie otekokoso na esetu abebi ono so na no disem a wode enam ene awie
Wasajifogu nyagwaso kwasantinadwe kasangen.
Wasajifogu nyagwaso kwasantinadwe kasangen.
Otokwanyine kase kwabyanyine kasangen.
Otokwanyine kase kwabyanyine kasangen.
Mema kwabya irifya ngomane kotokungen.
Mema kwabya irifya ngomane kotokungen.
Asante chantrochmo champon fungen.
Asante chantrochmo champon fungen.
Asante sesebo sumandite.
Asantehene sebo mentitien.
Krabia Asantehene kasangen.
Krabia Asantehene kasangen.
Sechiche mi modi mi avisio.
Sechiche mi modi mi avisio.
Why nebenya sejuso supani ni akwaba kuma sika pobano.
Why nebenya sejuso supani ni akwaba kuma sika pobano.
Binya sebianko baby.
Wo binya sebianko baby.
Amana tedi feba dem lefe kasangen.
Amana tedi feba dem lefe kasangen.
Chewani ndofi moje nungen.
Chewani ndofi moje nungen.
Adofroda de ochmo champon nufungen.
Adofroda de ochmo champon nufungen.
O so ni kroyo simendite.
Wo so ni kroyo simendite.
Jakwa jale na ade ase dingen.
Jakwa jale na ade ase dingen.
Akwisi bi okumlo ochmo champon nufungen.
Akwisi bi okumlo ochmo champon nufungen.
Jakwa ofri saye frampo demli favisi.
Jakwa ofri saye frampo no demli favisi.
Se tutu mi modi mi avisio.
Se tutu mi modi mi avisio.
Una na musuma nkabom mpuntu ni nkoso ba wasantima ni Ghana manyina.
Una na musuma nkabom mpuntu ni nkoso ni asandwe ba Ghana ni asantima nyina.
Obinya sebianko baby.
Obinya sebianko baby.
Blagwa bakana ne frampo demli favisi.
Blagwa bakana ne frampo no demli favisi.
Mema jabindo da ko yadungen.
Mema jabindo da ko yadungen.
Ya dom na ni ade yakubo jojo ta tochmo champon nufringen.
Ya dom na ni ade yakubo jojo ta tochmo champon nufringen.
O to sika sama na jija kungen.
O to sika sama na jija kungen.
Jakuya bo banko nyom flower.
Jakuya bo banko nyom flower.
Saji fo frampo demli fa o.
Saji fo frampo no demli fa o.
Saji tu mi modi mi avisio.
Saji tu mi modi mi avisio.
Saji fo gunya gwasingen.
Saji fo gunya gwasingen.
O kwa Asantehene dwe kasangen.
O kwa Asantehene dwe kasangen. Wo ku beda to peba de mrefa gunya gwasa ojumna chemera.
The Inspector General of Police, Dr. Christian Tete Yohonu. The President of the Regional House of Chiefs of Greater Accra, my dear brother. Senior officers and men and women of the Ghana Police Service here assembled. Traditional rulers here assembled. Distinguished guests, fellow citizens of our beloved republic. Manshia has been pleased to enjoy a productive working relationship with the Ghana Police Service over the years. But this is the first time we have had the opportunity of visiting what I will call the engine room or the heartbeat of the service, thanks to the initiative. Thanks to the initiative and kind invitation of our son, the Inspector General of Police. We are deeply humbled by the extraordinary courtesies extended to us this morning. Watching the ladies parade, I thought I should have worn my police dress to be here. So I'll plead of the IGP to give me a police dress so next time when I come, I can be a policeman. But this honor is not intended to me alone, but duly shared with the entire community of traditional rulers who are the guardians of culture. I'm pleased to be joined by NI President and other traditional council members. I hope they share this honor with all of us. It is truly inspiring to survey the amazing lineup of the top brass who not only make up the entire command of the Ghana Police Service, but represent over a century of dedicated and exceptional service to the nation. And whilst I was walking in, I saw former IGPs that I've dealt with, and I'm glad that they are here today. Interestingly, as far back as getting to 27 years, my first police ADC, I saw him now, husband rating, he's now Nana from Bonketia. He was my first ADC who was looking after me. At 26 years ago. I don't know what rank he has now, but he was my ADC at Meshia at that time. This is not a routine or a mere ceremonial visit. It is intended to be a landmark event, marking a moment in history where two ancient responsibilities meet to begin a momentous conversation. The guardianship of values and the enforcement of law. One institution draws its authority from ancestral memory. The other draws its mandate from the Constitution. Yet both exist for one sacred task: the preservation of order, dignity, and peace in society. Before we proceed upon the historic journey, let me, in the spirit of the new year, convey a message of glad tidings to the gallant men and women who make up the Ghana Police Service. We come with abiding gratitude to each member of the service, from the lowest constable to the top leadership gathered here today, for your selfless sacrifices to keep us safe over the years. And we bring you hope for progress and prosperity in the years to come. The Ghana Police Service is one of the institutional legacies bequeathed to us by our former colonial rulers. From the first Ghanaian who took over the mantle of leadership from the departing colonial commander, the highly distinguished Erasmus Ransford Tewia Magite, to the energetic leadership assembled here today, the police service has gone through many challenging epochs. Changing political circumstances have impacted on the service in different ways. But it is fair to say that through it all, the service has maintained a level of commitment and professionalism we should be proud of. Whenever and wherever you have been called upon to undertake international duties, you have acquitted yourselves with full credit. The greatest pride of Ghanaians today is that our nation is recognized in the world as an oasis of peace in an environment of turbulence. The international community widely acclaims us for the safety in our streets. If we take pride in our climate of peace and accept the plaudits of the world for the safety in our streets, we cannot fail to acknowledge the crucial role of the frontline protectors of our peace and security. When we snuggle in our comfortable beds at night, we cannot forget that there are thousands of our sons and daughters battling with mosquitoes while dutifully protecting us from the snares of criminal minds. And while we trudge along our motorways, whether in our shining limousines or the humble trotro or aboboya and praja, we cannot forget that there are again thousands of our sons and daughters keeping guard in the most inhospitable spots just to make sure we arrive safely at our destinations. The truth is not in us if we fail to acknowledge that we owe a huge debt of gratitude to the blue uniform for the safety we cherish. So today we say our equal to the police for faithful service to the nation. I equal for your selfless sacrifices in the most difficult terrains. I equal for the safety in our streets. And I equal for selflessly standing guard while we sleep. As I have already mentioned, the Ghana Police Service is one of the legacies of our past colonial past. But long before the first police uniform was sewn, communities had learned how to live together. Before courts were built, disputes were settled. Before statutes were written, wrong was already understood. Custom was the first law. Culture was the first constitution. It taught restraint before punishment, responsibility before rights, and harmony before victory. It reminded people that their actions did not end with themselves, that every deed echoed through family, lineage, and memory. In those days, a child feared disappointing an elder more than facing authority. A man thought twice before wrongdoing, not because of arrest, but because shame will outlive him. Conduct was shaped long before crime could take root. That is the quiet power of culture.
Zoom.
When culture is strong, crime struggles to breathe. When culture collapses, law enforcement is forced to compensate. No number of officers, no matter how disciplined, no matter how well equipped, can replace a society that has lost its moral compass.
Zoom.
Law enforcement functions best where people already believe that order is worth protecting. This is why we have been pleased to join hands with Dr. Teteyuno, the Inspector General of Police, to initiate this conversation. It has been most useful at this point in time to engage with an IGP steeped in history and culture and able to appreciate the essential interplay between the two.
Zoom.
He is aware of the extent to which the colonial authorities relied on traditional authorities for the maintenance of law and order. Indeed, you know that the British were content to make domestic law and order a joint function between law enforcement and traditional rulers.
Zoom.
When the Asante Nation became part of the new nation state of the Gold Coast, the Asantehene was allowed to keep and maintain his own police. Ahemfie police had all the authority of the colonial police well into the onset of independence. Along the original Gold Coast colony, one of the most eminent chiefs was Nene Azuma Tekole, the corner of Menya Krobo, who in his life played a key role in the preservation of law and order.
Zoom.
It is no wonder that Kroboland gave us the first Ghanaian head of the police, the eminent Teria Majite, who was to go on to serve as leader of opposition in parliament.
Zoom.
And it is no surprise that the seed of the past continues to flower in our incumbent RGP.
Zoom.
The lessons of history suggest that we can build a safer, more peaceful society by conscious effort to bring the guardians of culture and the protectors of law ever closer together to create an interlocking mechanism based on the cardinal principle that culture cannot do without the police and the police cannot succeed without culture. Culture without law becomes nostalgia. Beautiful stories with no teeth. Law without culture becomes false, effective but brittle. One shapes the heart, the other restrains the hand. A society that restrains only the hand while neglecting the heart merely postpones disorder. As the king and embodiment of one of Africa's great enduring cultures, I've seen culture at its finest, and I have also seen it at its worst. I have opened up the deliberations of Asantehene and our traditional councils to the global media so the world can see how genuine customs resolves disputes peacefully, preserving relationships and dignity. I've also seen how distorted tradition may be used to justify violence and impunity. What we have seen and done reinforces my belief that when authority, traditional or otherwise, employs disorder as a tool, it has abandoned legitimacy. Custom was never designed to protect criminals. It was designed to prevent crime. Every culture in Ghana provides a formula for resolving disputes, and it is only when our fidelity to cultural values fail that disorder takes over. True tradition aligns with justice. It does not compete with it. This is why the role of the Ghana Police Service is indispensable. I recall that Christian only recently assumed the position of Inspector General of Police under a cloud at a time when public expectations of the police were high and patience was thin. Within this short period, the impact of leadership has been felt, and we see a style reflecting the essential element in law enforcement: calm authority anchored in professionalism. The greatest victory of law enforcement is prevention, and prevention begins long before police sirens sound. It begins in homes, and it begins in homes where discipline is taught, in communities where elders are respected, in cultures where wrongdoing is socially discouraged before it becomes legally punishable, This is where culture performs its most important work. In a society where values are strong, the police officer is not viewed as an adversary, but as a partner. The uniform commands respect not because it carries force, but because it represents shared principles. Now imagine a society where values have collapsed. In such a place, the police officer becomes a symbol of oppression. The law becomes an external imposition, and crime becomes defiance masquerading as freedom. The difference between the two societies is not the number of laws on the books, it is the presence or absence of culture. It should be obvious to us, therefore, that the alignment of cultural values with the values of law should be the first step towards crime prevention. Our visit today sets us up on a journey towards crystallizing the alignment of values and sends a powerful national message. The tradition and modern law enforcement are not rivals struggling for relevance. They are collaborators safeguarding the same future. When traditional authority respects legal authority, communities stabilize. When police respect local customs, cooperation deepens. When both communicate openly, crime loses its hiding place. If law alone can save society, then countries with the thickest law books will have no problems, no prisons at all. Yet even prisons have rules and still require values. The truth is simple, even if uncomfortable. No society can outsource morality entirely to the state and expect peace. Together, we must raise citizens, not just enforce laws. Therefore, I have come to join you to call together for deeper institutionalized collaboration between traditional authorities and the Ghana Police Service. Let chiefs serve as allies in community policing. Let officers be trained to understand the customs of the people they protect. Let dialogue precede deployment and mediation precede confrontation. This is not softness, it is intelligence. The future of public order lies not in louder sirens, but in stronger values, supported by competent, disciplined law enforcement. We hope the conversation we begin today will culminate in some institutional arrangement which should guarantee effective and respectful collaboration. You will no doubt be aware that among the guardians of traditions, we are fortunate to have eminent men like my own brother Togwe Sri, the Omefia of Alo, who before his entombment was one of the highest ranking of police officers, and he even served in Ashanti. You can have every assurance about the presence of a vast community of guardians of culture, ready to connect with you for a new era in nation building. We have conveyed our message of hope and progress to the Ghana Police Service. We have assured you of our gratitude for your faithful service and selfless sacrifices for our protection and safety. But we cannot conclude without acknowledging persistent public disquiet about lapses that undermine discipline and engender mistrust. We have to admit, however, attractive the arguments may be, there's going to be more than a mountain to climb if we ignore public concerns about police values. I have always believed that the discipline and the values instilled during training by the police and military shapes one for a lifetime. No one who goes through the training is ever in doubt about what the uniform represents and the values they profess to uphold when they bear the coat of arms. So it is puzzling, to say the least, when Ghanaians see men in uniform act publicly in a manner which evidently compromises the integrity of the service. They provide an escape route to doubters who will argue that if the men of the disciplined service cannot maintain their values, how can they expect civil society to be able to do so? As we embark on this journey together, we will urge you, IGP, and your devoted colleagues to seriously tackle issues affecting police integrity and public trust. It may well be necessary to reinforce or upskill the values you include in your men, so they are left in no doubt. Whatever they do which compromises the integrity of the police also dishonor the uniform and the coat of arms they bear. I also hope that you work towards making the service politically neutral. There will always be one government responsible for the state of Ghana, and as the police service of the state, you are sworn to be unalloyed in your loyalty to the government. But there must be a line drawn between the government and a political party, and I believe both government and the service will find it in their common interest for the police to be manifestly pursuing law enforcement with bias towards none, but without fear or favor, affection or ill will. Sure. When I survey the galaxy of agile men and women assembled before me today, I'm filled with confidence that you are up to any challenge that the year may throw up. And I encourage you to stick together in continued dedication to the upliftment of the service.
Zoom.
To you, Dr. Christian Tetenyoro, the IGP, I commend your leadership and encourage you to continue steering the service with firmness, fairness, and foresight. The work you have begun will outlive your tenure if anchored in values.
Zoom.
Custodians of tradition, Nime, let us preserve our customs not as relics of nostalgia, but as living systems that cultivate discipline, peace, and justice.
Zoom.
And to every citizen, remember that the destiny of this nation is shaped not only by laws passed in Parliament, but by conduct practiced in homes.
Zoom.
When culture stands upright, crime bends low.
Zoom.
When culture walks with law, society walks in peace.
Zoom.
May the year 2026 bring all of us peace, charity, joy, and prosperity. Thank you very much.
Zoom.
Thank you very much, His Royal Majesty Tumfo Osei Tutu II, for your address. Thank you very much. At this point, the next item on the group photograph, I will call on our protocol department to take responsibility of the group photograph. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this afternoon's program. The second part will also take place soon. Thank you. All personnel, please remain seated. You will be served here. Remain seated as our dignitaries will take leave of us.
Abusuafo yɛ straton kraba sisia. We are the Shemama Hani Edicasi Bonina AC. Achiame Hema a ama sapunkuma nkuma jesi ewieme na mbesomo yeda production crew ni nyina ase ewo modern mu a wode etechema yede kase esomo yamamumo ene hwa yejeme ahenewa